What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for MLB Thursday, May 25th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 6-game MLB slate tonight. So let's take a look at the pitcher position. So I got a value play at pitcher. I like JP Sears. He's got a massive pitching advantage here over the Seattle Mariners. Now JP Sears, he's only giving up a .673 OPS versus righties. So he pitches his best ball versus righty batters. And he's facing 7 righties here tonight. On top of that, the Mariners have only hit 7 of his last 41 pitches. That's a 171 batting average. So JP Sears is $8,200 FanDuel salary, $900 less on DraftKings, averaging 26 fantasy points per game on the season. Although he did score 37 fantasy points last game, he has an ERA of 4.99. Record is 0-3, pitching an average of 92 pitches per game. So I could see how some people would look at JP Sears here and say, wow, he's given up 5 runs a game, hasn't won a game so far this season. I'm not going to play him at pitcher. But Vegas thinks this is going to be a low-scoring game. Only 7.5 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. And I think a big part of that is due to the fantastic splits that JP Sears has tonight versus these righty batters. So I like JP Sears as a value play here versus the Seattle Mariners. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. So I like Anthony Rizzo. He's got an 18% batting advantage over Kyle Gibson. Anthony Rizzo batting a .859 OPS versus righties. Kyle Gibson pitching his worst ball to lefty batters, 36% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .912 OPS versus lefties. Anthony Rizzo is 2 for 2 here versus Gibson, with a 3.5 OPS because one of those hits was a home run. He's $3,300 FanDuel salary, $1,600 more on DraftKings, averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season, scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. 3 of those 5 games scored 19 fantasy points or more, has a batting average of .307. So I like Anthony Rizzo here versus Kyle Gibson. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And then we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. Actually, a few second basemen that I like here tonight. A value play in Adam Frazier facing Clark Schmidt. Adam Frazier batting 19% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .758 OPS versus righties. Clark Schmidt giving up a .931 OPS versus lefties. And Adam Frazier is 1 for 1 here versus Schmidt. And he's only $2,700 FanDuel salary, $100 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season, scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games. 3 of those were over 20, then a 16 and a 9. So he's been on fire. Has a batting average of .255. Just way too cheap on both sites for this matchup. So I like Adam Frazier here versus Clark Schmidt. Now, I also like Nico Horner, who's 2 for 3 here versus Carrasco. And then I also like Bryson Stott, who has a 45% batting advantage here over a low salary pitcher, Dylan Dodd. So Bryson Stott, only 2,800 FanDuel salary. Looking pretty good on FanDuel. He's 1,600 more on DraftKings. So I like Bryson Stott as a value play. Let's take a look at the third base position. A stud pick that I like here is Christopher Morel, also eligible at the outfield position. He's just been crushing it so far this season. He is facing Carlos Carrasco, but Carlos Carrasco giving up a 1.038 OPS versus righties, and Christopher Morel batting a 1.362 OPS versus righties. So I think Christopher Morel is a good stud here tonight. But if you're looking to save some salary at the third base position, take a look at Austin Riley. So the splits aren't good here, but Austin Riley is 18 for 42 here versus Aaron Nola. That's a 429 batting average and a 1.229 OPS, because 3 of those hits were home runs and 5 were doubles. Only 2,900 FanDuel salary, 1,900 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season, scored fantasy points in all 5 of his last games, has a batting average of 261. So I like Austin Riley just because of the batter versus pitcher matchup here versus Aaron Nola. Now, this pick just popped in the corner of my eye here. Gunnar Henderson. He's got a 64% batting advantage over Clark Schmidt. He's 2 for 3 here versus Schmidt. Only 2,700 FanDuel salary, 1,200 more on DraftKings, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season. Looks like he's heating up. Now, he only has a batting average of 206, so a little bit of caution there. But if you are looking for another value play, I don't mind Gunnar Henderson here versus Clark Schmidt.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. I like Javier Baez. Splits aren't great here, but Javier Baez is 10 for 24 here versus Lucas Giolito. That's a 417 batting average and a 1.231 OPS. So he's only 2,900 FanDuel salary, averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season. Scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games. Has a batting average of 243. So I like Javier Baez here on FanDuel here versus Lucas Giolito. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. I like Jared Kelenic, and he's got a 33% batting advantage over JP Sears. So this is one batter that I would play here versus JP Sears tonight if you're not going to play JP Sears. So he's 3,300 FanDuel salary, 1,600 more on DraftKings, averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season, scored fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games, has a batting average of 289. So if you're not going to play JP Sears, I like Jared Kelenic here versus JP Sears. Let's see if we can get you a pick here, a guy that's not playing JP Sears. This is an interesting pick here. Ian Happ versus Carlo Carrasco. Ian Happ batting 52% better versus righty pitchers, batting a 911 OPS versus righties. And Ian Happ is 2 for 8 versus Carrasco, 250 batting average. He's 3,000 FanDuel salary, 1,000 more on DraftKings. Nothing fantastic with that pick. You could go with a guy like Marcell Ozuna versus Aaron Nola. He's 11 for 41 with 3 home runs versus Nola. Only 2,800 FanDuel salary and 100 less on DraftKings. So I like Marcell Ozuna as a value play here versus Aaron Nola.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this MLB slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.